This is video 4. Basically, I guess I want to say day 7 and 8, I believe. Anyway, it's been 2 more days basically that I've been out here. I've been able to work on it. So I just want to say, too, that you will see this bike, all the way to completion, and it won't be that long. Maybe a couple months from now, like 2 months from now, maybe a little bit longer than that. Depending on if there's any hiccups, anything like that. But if you are watching these, videos as I'm doing this, I'm doing these more for myself, just because I'd kind of wished I'd done them on other bikes. But either way, if you are watching it, you will get to see the full thing. I'm not gonna just stop doing the videos, but at a lot of points here, you'll see that it kind of starts looking like it's going backwards, and you'll see that until powder coat is all done and everything's being put back together. It'll start looking like a bike again. But that being said, was basically what I've done starting at the front was I took apart the front end again. I'm shaving off these tabs for the front fender. I'm not running a front fender. These are not complete yet, but you can see they're almost there. I got a couple more stages of wet sanding to do, but actually these are looking pretty decent. It's hard to tell, what's straight, but if you kind of just looking at that edge, looks pretty good. But anyway, some people are going to think that's crazy because, why'd you ruin a pair of chrome lowers or whatever else? But I think when the bike's done, you'll understand. It's just going to be cleaner that way. And I've talked to other people that I've seen on the bikes. I've never met anyone that's actually done them themselves. Everyone's always told me they've either taken them to a machine shop, or they've taken them to a bike shop, or they've bought them that way that someone else did. So I've always kind of wanted to just give it a try and see. So I was a little nervous about it. It was actually much easier than I was expecting. I did it all with a grinder, a 5-inch cutting wheel, and a 5-inch sanding disc, and got it down to basically as level and as smooth as possible, and then just hand sanded the rest. And I'm still in the process of doing that. But as things get tedious, I kind of move on to the next thing. So the next thing I did was I wired in the speedo. This is not the final location. But you can see that's all wired in and working. I haven't had a chance to ride it and make sure it's actually registering speed, but I can't imagine that we'd have any problems now. But I kind of temporarily wired everything else, the headlight, all the fall forward blinkers, the tail light and brake light, made sure everything works as it should. All the blinkers, the tail lights and the rear blinkers worked as the brake, so everything was working as it should. I made this kind of cover here, which I'm just, another electrical cover, I guess, for the seat area. This one is actually about the 3rd one that I've kind of had a go at, and finally I'm kind of happy with it. The other ones I never really, got even close to finishing, because I just didn't like it. But it needs to be from final shaped out, especially on this edge here, and smoothed out as well. But that's going to be, basically what we have. I was able to keep it as low as possible. Kind of rolled down the edge of that to even give it a lower profile, so you can see it just barely comes up. And with the battery and everything under there, I just felt that I needed something like that. The seat will sit again, real low. Well, not that, but real low against there. So I'll have a nice low profile on that. The rear, I removed all the emissions. I removed most of the hoses and stuff, but I actually removed the emissions canister and everything down here. So that's actually where all the hookups for the rear taillights will go. So I'm doing them all like plug-in. So once it's done, you'll be able to just plug in and plug out, take things off really, if you ever needed to. I guess the license plate bracket will be welded to the frame, but the actual taillight will be removable from that. So everything can be taken off if needed. Up here is where I did the ignition module. I don't think I ever showed that. This is just a load equalizer for the LEDs, and also a run brake turn signal module for those back signals. I did the spacers in here and things for the air cleaner, so when that comes back, it'll all be ready to just bolt on. I did the final shaping of the fender down here. Just the reflection. But did the final shaping of this fender. Actually took just a little bit more off the skirt here and cut it down maybe an inch or a little bit more possibly off the end. So all the final sanding, I plan on powder coating this, so I got to do all the final wet sanding of that as well to get it just as smooth as possible for powder coat. Same with this thing you know, at least just parts of it specifically. Tank, I'm not sure if I'm going to paint or powder coat it yet, but same thing will have to be done. Everything that's powder coated needs to be, you know, sanded, you know, extremely well. But that's basically it. Take a, you know, keep an eye out for the next video. Hopefully have a little bit more done.